Hello, it is currently 11 o'clock on the 10th of December 2024 and I have a new tutorial for you. This tutorial will be about how to get Oxide 2 percentage, not from beating Oxide 2. When I say Oxide 2, I mean the second Oxide visit in a 101% playthrough of Crash Team Racing, and you can do this by not actually getting the 101% ending and activating the scrapbook and everything like that. To do this, you need a memory card and a second controller. I have two controllers right here, but that is all you need. And of course, having Skull Rock unlocked, or any crystal challenge for that matter. But for the purpose of this, I have Skull Rock. This is not going to show off every item that you can get from this glitch. This is just going to show off Oxide 2. However, if you want to see how you can get other items from this glitch, like gems, keys, stuff like that, I have a link in the description of this video. It's very, very similar to this, but not quite the same. So yeah, the first thing you're going to want to do is hit pause and then hit start and X on the same frame. Harder than it looks. There we go. And what that does is it stores the quit menu in memory. So the next time I hit start, it's already there for me. Obviously, I will be doing this once we go into Skull Rock. That was a bit quicker. Alright, so we're going to go into Skull Rock with this pause menu in the game's memory. And what this is going to mean is that we can activate this pause menu in the Crystal Challenge and quit to the main menu from a Crystal Challenge, which is leaving the Crystal Challenge the incorrect way. This means that this gets stored in the game's memory, because if we didn't leave it the incorrect way in the game's memory, that's still the main priority, to keep that in the game's memory. So the next thing we want to do is we go into Dingo Canyon. Again, if you watched the video from a couple years ago, this might sound familiar. Or indeed, if you've been watching my 101% speedruns on Twitch, this will be familiar. We go into Dingo Canyon, and this is where the glitch deviates from what we did last time, a couple years ago in the old tutorial. Here, instead of getting a boss key or a gem or anything like that, we are going to manipulate the percentage from Oxide 2. Now, I must warn you, this is very difficult. And when I say very difficult, I mean like, even if you do it right, there is still a chance that you get other things instead of Oxide 2 from the game's inventory. So, for instance, right now, I am on 9% completed on this file, which means if I do this right, I will get 3% from beating Oxide 2, and I will be on 12% on the save file. However, if I am on 11%, that means that I was very close to getting it, and I instead only got the percentage from the any percent NMG ending, or Oxide 1, where you just get all the trophies and then beat Oxide. The other thing that can happen is I get a purple token, which is very close to these two things in the game's memory as well, which will put me at 10%, and I'll be able to check the pause menu once I'm in adventure mode to see if I actually got that. The last thing that can happen is I get nothing, or I get something that's useless for adventure mode, but it's something useful for the greater game, so a time trial ghost or an arcade cup or something like that. All you're going to want to do is Death Abuse here, so that it spawns you in the same place every single time. You're going to want to turn your camera around like this, and then just hold X and hit circle roughly 0.2 to 0.3 seconds after you hit the wumper. My visual cue for it is that the crystal count that's currently in the top right, as you can see, comes across the screen from the right side to the middle once you hit the wumper, and I like to hit it when it's just come on screen. That's my visual cue. So I'll do this in a fast manner to show you how it would go in a speedrun, or ideally how it looks when you do it right. Obviously I might not get it because it's very, very difficult, but I'm going to hold X right now. And I'm going to try and time this when it comes on screen. About there. So I actually got told to retry there, which means when I first hit circle, I got something that I already have, but because I did it in arcade mode, I was able to hold R1, and that is a separate glitch that bypasses the retry menu until the game can find something you don't have. Only works on arcade, which is why I showed this on arcade in case that happened. So that's actually quite cool that that happened, because it just shows off that I can do that and it can still work. Alright, the next part of this glitch is the battle mode wrong warp to get back into our adventure mode file without having saved the game upon quitting Skull Rock. So yeah, you may have noticed when we left Skull Rock, we obviously didn't save the game. We just left, which technically means we shouldn't be able to get back into that save file anymore. However, there's a glitch. Again, if you watched the tutorial 2 years ago, this will make sense to you, where we can damage ourselves in Rocky Road as player 2 and wrong warp back into adventure mode. There's a common misconception for this glitch that you need to use certain characters. You don't. You could use literally anyone. I'm going to use Pura. I'll use, you know what? I'll use Polar and Pura. Why not? I'm going to go to Rocky Road. Player 1 should be in Team 2. Player 2 should be in Team 4. That is very important. You then want to set it to life limit mode and turn off every item that isn't a potion. Every item that isn't a potion you want to turn off. Because, not that this last part truly matters, but in terms of doing it as quickly as possible, you just want an item that you can hit yourself quickly with. We turn off every item except a potion. And this is where our second controller is going to come in handy. So I'm going to control player 2 now. And I'm going to hit myself 6 times. Or I'm going to lose a battle twice. And for some reason, with this configuration of players on this team, player 1 is in 4th and player 2 is in 2nd. You can see that's clearly a mistake, and that shouldn't be the case at all, but it is. And for whatever reason, every time you death abuse here, the game puts you in a different spot in the game's memory. So, for instance, 2 deaths will put me back in Gemstone Valley in the adventure mode. 3 deaths puts me in Insanity Beach, 4 in Lost Ruins, 5 in Glacier Park, 6 in Citadel City. 19 actually teleports you to the credits, which is how the any percent speedrun works, in case you're wondering. So yes, you can do an any percent run. It is as easy as putting those, as putting player 1 in team 2 and player 2 in team 4. It is as simple as that, and then just hitting yourself 19 times or 57 times with whoever you want. It's that easy. But anyway, this will warp me back to Gemstone Valley and back into my save file, and hopefully, when it warps me back into my save file, I will have the percentage gotten from Dingo Canyon. So, if I've done this right, I'll have 12%. If I did this slightly incorrect, and when I say slightly, I mean literally frames incorrect, I'll be on 11%. If I've done this very, very close, I'll have 10% and a purple token. And if I've done this slightly wrong, I'll have a 9%. We'll do one more run through of this in a fast way, just to show it off. 9%, unlucky. So that means I was really, really close, but I sadly got something that isn't useful for the speedrun. But that's okay, because I'm going to do another attempt just to show it off. And again, you may have noticed I am as Pura in a Dingo dial save file because of the battle mode wrong warp glitch. I could also have picked like a cheated character. I could have picked Penta Penguin there and been put in adventure mode as Penta Penguin. But yeah, we'll go through this glitch again. This time I'll go through it rather quickly just to show it off. So you want to hit start and X on the same frame. You want to quit to the main menu. Again, doesn't really matter if you've saved your game before this because we'll be battle mode wrong warping back in anyway. You then want to go arcade. Pick a speed character of some description, just so you're going at the same speed every time. Go into Dingo Canyon, where because you left the crystal challenge the incorrect way, you will be in a crystal challenge upon entering Dingo Canyon. You want to put the far camera on. You want to have a camera that is far away. You want to jump out of bounds. You want to hold R2 and X, and you want to press circle when the crystal is somewhat in, off the side of the screen. I personally think that was too early, but we'll see. I've been wrong before. You then want to go to battle mode. Doesn't matter who you pick. I'm picking Polar for player 2. Doesn't matter. Optimally for the speedrun, you would actually pick Engine or Coco, because they're an acceleration character, so they can hit themselves the quickest. But it's really neither here nor there. Hit yourself twice, and then simply hit change setup, like so, and re-enter the battle mode, and because of what you've just done with the team setup, it will put you back in adventure mode, and hopefully with the percentage of something that you just got. We'll see if we got something this time. 10%. Okay, so this time I got a purple token from the game's inventory, which means I was really close again. But the setup is one and the same. I'll actually show you guys what purple token we got. That is guaranteed to be a purple token, or at the very least a gem. So it's not a gem, so it's going to be a purple token. It was Rocky Road, and there you go. So that's proof that you're doing this setup correctly. If you get like a purple token, Oxide 1, Oxide 2, or you get 0%, but it's nothing in the adventure mode, that is proof that you're at least very, very close to getting it. We'll give it one more try, and then after this last try, I'm actually going to show you guys what you can do after this glitch as a little bit of a bonus add-on on top of what we're doing here. And what I will show you is actually very relevant for the speedrun. So if you're interested in doing this in a speedrun, then by all means, stay till the end to see that. So again, start X on the same frame. Arcade mode. Dingo Canyon. By the way, if anyone's wondering why Dingo Canyon, for whatever reason, this is the only track in the game that in this state, you can manipulate anything from. For whatever reason, certain tracks are tied to certain things. For instance, Blizzard Bluff. If you hit a Wumper in Blizzard Bluff in this state, you will always get Skull Rock Purple Token. For some reason, if you hit a Wumper in Cocoa Park, you'll either get nothing or random Ruse Tubes items. So like the Ruse Tubes Trophy Token or Relic. Don't know why, but certain things are tied to certain things. Dragon Mines is also a good example. If you finish 3 laps with Dragon Mines, you will always be given Purple Gem. Comment down below if you want to see a full speedrun tutorial of this, because I will happily do one. I just don't know if the interest is there. So do comment, do say if you want to see a full showcase of the 101% speedrun with me explaining everything. I would happily do it. But yeah, Death Abuse here. Hold R2 and X, and then hit circle when the crystals are barely on screen. That felt better. To me, that was a really good attempt. I waited just a little bit longer there. The crystals from the side of the screen were more on screen that time, and in my opinion, that's a really, really good attempt. Going to Rocky Road, we'll obviously see, because again, you only have a couple frames to hit the Oxide 2 trigger, but the good thing is that you can attempt this as many times as you want. That's the good thing. Like, you've seen me right now, I've literally just done this like several times in a row. And fun fact, by the way, if you unlock Dingo Canyon in adventure mode, I obviously haven't for this showcase, but if you unlock him in adventure mode, you can actually do this without the battle mode wrong warp. Simply enter Dingo Canyon in the crystal challenge state and do this, and it works all the same. But yeah, let's see if we get 13%. There you go. So I was on 10% before that, as you can see. I was on 10%, and now I am on 13%, meaning that I just got the Oxide 2 percentage, and if I was to do a full 101% playthrough on this file, the moment that I completed my final relic, I would actually not have the Oxide cutscene greet me and say like, oh, you've gotten all the relics, congratulations, come fight me. Instead, he just wouldn't show up, and if I checked my save screen after that, I would have 101% without fighting Oxide. Don't worry, by the way, if on the menu the Oxide star doesn't show up. That's because the star next to his name, signifying that you beat him, and the percentage awarded are actually 2 different flags in the game's memory. And with this glitch, you only activate the flag that gives the 3%. In case you're wondering, by the way, how on earth I know that that was definitely the percentage from Oxide 2, it's because before beating Oxide 1, the only thing in the game that gives you 3% completion is beating Oxide 1 and 2 at the same time, which is what that is, because Oxide 1 gives you 2% and Oxide 2 gives you 1%. Again, finally, now that we've done that, let me save the game real quick. Actually, I'll save the game in Hub 1, why not? But yeah, now that we've done that, I can show off what the speedrun would do from this position. The speedrun would save your game so that you keep that percentage, because you don't really want to lose your hard work, right? And then you want to go into one of these 5 tokens. You want to either go into Ruse Tubes, Sewer Speedway, Cocoa Park, Dingo Canyon, or Dragon Mines. If you go into any other token, the game will crash. So you want to make sure it's one of those. You then, because again, you left battle mode the incorrect way, the game still thinks you're in battle mode, which means you can activate the main menu, quit menu. You want to hit quit, and you want to go back to the main menu and load the file that you just saved. Because you left a CTR token the incorrect way, the game now thinks you should be in a CTR token, which means the next time you enter a trophy, the game will also think that on top of it being a trophy, it is a CTR token. And luckily for us in the speedrun, again, if you've watched the speedrun on my Twitch channel, you may be familiar with this. The game now thinks that you are in a trophy and a token at the same time, and luckily for us, because the game gives us the same exact win condition, both trophies and tokens, which is of course finish 3 laps in first place, you can get the trophy and the token at the same time. This is actually really only possible thanks to the beta version of CTR. If you remember the August 5th beta build, if you haven't seen the YouTube video of that I made, link in the description, but basically in that build, a couple months before this game came out in on October 19th, that's correct. Forgetting my dates for a second. In the August 5th build, so a couple months before the game came out, they actually had it so that all trophy races also had the letters CT and R in them. And if you got the letters CT and R and won the trophy, you would get both items at the same time. Tokens weren't like relics where they were only available post beating a world. They were available immediately. And because of that, there's got to be some information in the game's memory that allows you to get both of these items at the same time. And luckily we can draw from that and still get trophies and tokens at the same time, just obviously in a very glitchy way this time. So I'm gonna beat Coco Park here, even though it's a trophy race, and I'm going to be given a token. And as you will see, after Uka gives me a hint real quick, you will see that I actually have a trophy and a token on the pause menu. You will see that real quick. But yeah, hopefully this was helpful to some of you. I hope you give this a try. It's really not as intimidating as it looks. There's the trophy and the token at the same time. It's really not as intimidating as it looks, this glitch. This glitch is definitely like, it's more difficult if you try and do it really fast, but if you really just take your time with it, if you just want to do the glitch, hell, even if, let's say you want to do a speedrun of 101%, even if you don't get any useful items from Dingo Canyon, the fact that you can still do a glitch where you can get a trophy and a token at the same time in every level in Hub 2, 3, and 4, because the moment that you beat Ripperoo and unlock Skull Rock, this is possible. Even if you just did that, you're well on your way to doing a good speedrun of 101%. So please don't be intimidated. Please do a speedrun of this. Or at the very least, please just try this, because it's really, really interesting and quite eye-opening if you don't know how CTR, like memory stuff, works. Thank you all for watching. Again, if you want to see 101% speedruns of this, link in the description to my Twitch channel. And yeah, hope to see you all there. Take care.